extra info about some basic business stuff. And I think some people are like, uh-oh, it's time to tune out. She's going to try to sucker me into selling something, and it feels yucky. Don't worry, it's not like that. So I'm intending you guys to go ahead and stay, even if you're just curious about what it looks like, to be able to kind of like know how the system goes in order to be effective. Now, I'll tell you that I have done it the ineffective way, and it's not great. So I think I looked it up because it's Elise Chedevi who says there's a right way and there's a hard way. Both work, but one way is harder than the other. So I didn't know that in the beginning. So I want to train you guys just a little bit. So we're going to take hopefully somewhere more like 15-ish, maybe 20 minutes to tell you guys about this. And part of the big reason is these days we all know that having an alternative stream of income that doesn't require you to leave the house is a big, big deal. And to me, when you combine it with a heart of service, where you're genuinely wanting to help someone who's looking for a natural solution, it's a no-brainer for me. And that's how I've been able to well, I don't know what I'd like to my own horn, but last month was my most successful month yet, and it was very freeing and very good relief for my husband to be able to see this is a way to get legitimate income, and to do that, I'm actually helping people. I'm helping coach them through things that they've been trying to help for a really long time. So this makes me really, really happy. So this is how, oh, by the way, if you guys don't already know about doTERRA being an amazing company, I hope you take a minute and just look up some of the YouTubes about co-impact sourcing. Really wants to make you cry. Just doTERRA is such a great company to be behind when you're just talking about ethical practices and things that are sustainable and above and beyond. Like many of the people who work for doTERRA harvesting the oils, they're just these common people, and doTERRA makes they make co-ops to try to help people gather and have that support within a country or something like that, and they go through training so that they know. It turns out, guys, if you water during these months, your vetiver will grow a lot better, producing better essential oil. We want you to do that, not just feel so flustered and feel like you have to harvest the vetiver any time of the year and not get a high yield or not get the great constituents that are going to be important for making a therapeutic benefit. So there's so much into training and working with the little guys, and it just makes me super happy. So look up co-impact sourcing. The one that makes me cry is the one about Haiti, so that one's a good one. And also, doTERRA does so much with their Healing Hands Foundation, and there's just so many amazing things that they put a plethora of money into, stuff that doesn't even have to do with essential oils, like building schools and digging wells and even hospitals. They're setting up some really, really cool stuff and going about it in interesting ways where if they're paying their growers, they'll pay specifically the women in the family if they know that particular culture is such that when the man of the family might get the check, it may not make it home to the full family. So all these kinds of really great things where doTERRA just really tries to go above and beyond in terms of spreading general awesomeness to the whole world. So it makes me really, really happy to be part of that. Okay, so how do we share in an effective way? And there's a lot that goes into this, honestly, but I want to try to make this easy for you. Number one, okay, if you want to know all the details more than what I'm going to actually talk about here, go to dailymentorcalls.com, and that's going to lead you to this page, and you just sign up, and there's 50 calls. Some of them are 20 minutes, some of them are 45, but you just listen to these calls, and that kind of gives you a brief overview. And then you also get access through that to what we call the Back to Basics workbook. And today we're looking at page 8 through, I think it's through 13 or something like that. So this is very attainable, yeah. And I think Marcella's going to put the link to in the chat, and you can print it, really easily, or just keep it in digital form so you can reference it whenever you need it. Okay, so here's what we're going to start with, the idea of why do we give out samples of essential oil? So doTERRA is the fastest growing network marketing company in the world, and there's things that they have done that have only been matched by, well, matched by, but so Apple, I guess, was like the original company that had gotten to this like freedom point of in a certain amount of time, and so doTERRA is definitely having some really good best practices to get yeah, I guess a very high score on being a reliable company, but because we're focused on product instead of on like the opportunity and like making a lot of money and stuff like that, we are huge into this idea of giving samples because we want people to have an experience instead of just, you know, asking them, hey, don't you want to get this, you know, special bag, or don't you want to get these leggings, or how about these kitchen gadgets, right? So other MLM companies, they kind of go for giving away a lot of freebies to suck people in, and doTERRA is really like, no, we're going to do the right thing and make sure somebody actually has a good experience first. That's what this whole thing is about, is being able to have those essential oils available whenever somebody needs them. And so here's a really big tip about taking your time in the preparation period. The more contacts you have with the person before they're asked to make a buying decision, the more likely they are to purchase essential oils and want to build a business. So that's really cool because most of you know that no one likes to be sold to, but people like to be taken care of. And so when you show the extra interest in helping them get that headache taken care of, or help them resolve their sleep issues or something like that, and you don't just like, you know, there's some, oh, you should give that a try, and then like back away scared, like, you know, oh, I don't want them to think I'm pushy, but like show interest, call up, as you said, 2 days later and said, I know when I gave you that sample, I told you that I would check in on you in 2 days to see how it was going. So I'm following up with you. It feels so caring, guys. So I hope you will definitely take that as one of the tips that you learn from this. Is, oh, actually, I'm jumping ahead. Pardon me. I shouldn't be doing that one. Okay, the first thing is sample prep. Okay, we'll take that for later. So when you're getting ready to give a sample to somebody, this is the method that's going to be really, really effective. And of course, we'll get to that part. So we always give the samples for free. That one's a big deal. And here's one that was a hard one for me. Only sample one health challenge at a time. That was hard for me because if somebody had like several things, like they weren't sleeping and they had digestive troubles and they had blah, 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 then giving them a boatload of essential oils was super overwhelming, and they weren't really sure what was helping what. So choosing just one health challenge at a time and asking them what that means for them, like if it's sleep or headaches or whatnot, and then choosing a health need with an acute symptom that they'll see quick results with. This becomes important when we're looking at someone who is faced with something like fibromyalgia, but they also have acne. So choosing, and I know it doesn't seem right to be like helping them with something so minor when they have such big problems, but the goal is that when they see the quick results of something small, that they will decide to make a decision to fully like just jump in and make a huge health change. Now, because that may involve the lifelong vitality supplements, it may involve changing their diet, it may involve like there's you know, how long they can do things on a certain protocol or whatever. So but we want them to just expose them to the options and the possibility. So that would be something that I would say, like, for sure, focus on this. And I did not do that in the beginning. Let me ask you guys a quick question. If you could only share one doTERRA oil, and I'm going to make it oil because I know the Life and Vitality supplements are like kind of, you know, off the table here. If you could only share one essential oil with somebody, what would it be? Usually that's something that might have like your biggest, you know, your biggest story. So if you could only have one to choose to give to every single person that, you think might have that issue, which one would you have like a great story about that you would do it? So type that in the chat for me. And you can, yeah, if you don't know, you can say that, but or you could say what you think it would be, what you're looking forward to, like maybe it's adaptive if for mental health or whatever. So okay, go ahead and type that in the chat. And what if you could only have one to ever sample to anybody, which one would it be? All right. Okay, here's another cool concept about being able to like go back and deliver more samples. So say we wanted to help their acne, and we tried just plain old Melaleuca. It's great because it's cheap, and and most people see results with it, but maybe it wasn't the perfect thing for them. And they're like, oh, yeah, I didn't really see much results. Like, that's okay. And we're actually going to set the proper expectations for this experience. I'll show you how to do that. And so we say, that's okay. I have something that's also really great. It's called HD Clear, and I'm gonna bring some to you. We're gonna ship some out to you today. By the way, guys, you can send a sample of something for as little as 70 cents, which, well, I guess once you get the dram ball in there, so maybe like $1 or $1.15. So it doesn't have to be expensive or break the bank. All right, so you make sure you set the proper expectations, and then you only give them 10 to 20 drops of that essential oil. So that makes it where you're not like having issues and like, using up all your stuff. And also it gives them an opportunity to try it for a short time and to want more. Okay, so when we deliver the samples in person or send it in the mail, we're just gonna have them use one at a time, and here's what you're gonna need. So you need a sample of essential oil that you think is gonna be most effective. I'm gonna pop over here to show you these are the dram bottles we most often use. And you can see they're not really expensive. To get like 12 at a time is about $3. Sometimes you can get larger quantities for also like, small amounts and divide them up between people. And so that one's easy. And later they're also going to talk about having a quick guide reference. And this, oh, did I do the wrong page? Oh, is it up here? Maybe. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is the A to Z guide. It looks like this, and these are great, especially for people who want to be able to flip through and like, okay, well, she gave me peppermint, and I'm supposed to use it for my headaches. Like, what else is it good for? And then just to see like the variety of things that you can use with a really high quality essential oil like the DoTERRA oils. So those are some cool things that you might want to take a look at if you are, looking to share with people. Oops, that wasn't the right one. Is it? No, this one? There we go. Okay, so that's a quick reference guide for the A to Z. I'm going to pop over really quick and see what you guys' answers were about if you could only do one, which one would you do? So let's see. Okay, past tense or motivate. Yeah, oh, you're right, Angela. I've seen you talk about motivate quite a bit. Deep blue rub. Oh, yes. Frankincense, peppermint, adaptive, copaiba. Yeah, copaiba I feel like would probably be mine. If I had to choose one, copaiba would be like the one that I would like to share with the whole world. Balance, the Be Happy blend. Yes, that's a really good one. Oh, the only one he loves. That's great. I love when we get husbands into doing stuff too. All right, serenity. Oh, all this time she thought I was saying jam jars instead of dram. My pronunciation. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to go back and share. Thank you guys. I totally agree. All those are really good ones. Okay, so setting expectations. So this is a really great, like, I don't want to say phrase. It's like a set of sent paragraph. I don't know. If you can memorize this, and when you're sharing with somebody, just go ahead and give them these kind of examples. Essential oils are similar to medication in this way. When you have an ailment and you go to the doctor and receive a prescription, and if you use it and it doesn't work, you usually don't think to yourself, I'm never going to try medication again. It didn't work. That stuff's useless. But instead, you go back to the doctor and you say that you need to try something different. So we've been programmed to think that, okay, medications affect people differently. And essential oils are similar in the fact that each oil is not going to have the exact same effect on every single person. So if you use an oil, you don't get the results that you're looking for, that's okay. We can try something else. If you're patient enough with essential oils like you are with medication, we'll find something that's safer and cheaper and more effective for you. Okay, so can you guys imagine saying that to someone and having them be like, "Oh, okay, I don't have to hide from her if I like, if it doesn't work for me, and it's okay for me to like tell her it didn't actually, go well." Okay, so then after you set those expectations, you're going to tell them how to use it and what to look for. You're just going to describe how they're supposed to rub it on their temples, how they should kind of like, give a view of like what they should experience. And then you tell them, I'll call you in 2 days to see how it goes. Around when is the best time to call? So be like, that's going to be on a Thursday. Do you prefer morning or afternoon? And so work through with them so they can expect your call and it can be like planning to tell you like their results. It really, guys, it honestly makes it feel like you're caring about them, like you're walking side by side with them and helping them. So like definitely don't not follow up thinking that you'll be salesy. And then you give them 2 days after you deliver it, and then definitely make it a phone call, no email, no text. Ask me how I know. I'm not the only one. Like this is actually Alicia who wrote this, and she's a triple diamond. So if she's found that this is true after all the people that she's trained, then I'm going to go ahead and believe her that email and text. Although I did try it, I don't have the same results as when I get them on the phone. Okay, so this is a phrase you use so that nobody feels bad. You say, have you had an opportunity to use that Melaleuca yet, or whatever thing it is? And if they did, that's great. Then you go on to invite them to another opportunity to learn about essential oils, to a class or something. If they didn't, which is most common, you just say, that's okay. Here's what we're going to do when you get home tonight, start getting ready for bed, and then, talking about putting Serenity on their wrist or on the bottoms of their feet or whatever. I think you're going to have a great experience, but if you don't get the results you're looking for, don't worry, I can bring you another oil. Let's be patient. I'll give you a call in the morning to see how it goes. So if you follow up a second time, like, hey, did you try that Melaleuca yet? And it's very possible that they might not have. That's okay. Here's what we're going to do. Go get that Melaleuca right now. We're going to have a little essential oil experience together as we talk. So they should be dabbing stuff on them, how to do that. You might tell them a little bit about what they should be feeling and stuff like that. So when they have used that sample, and you kind of ask them what their experience is, if they don't say it was awesome and they're going to call their neighbor and their mom to say how great it was, then like let's go ahead and get them something else. Right? Or if they're like, oh, I'm pretty sure it's giving me a reaction, it's burning, oh, this stuff is terrible, I'm never trying something like this again. You're like, don't worry, there are solutions for this, and let's just keep being patient. We'll find something that will be better for you. So here's some HD Clear, something like that. So the goal here is, guys, let them know that it's okay to not have a positive reaction for every single oil, and continue to work with them until they do. And it's totally, totally fine, right? So you deliver the new sample and start the sampling process over if it wasn't great. But what do you do if it was good? This is where I want to tell you guys about some fun things that we have going on. So when you're going to invite people to a class, you do want them, I'm going to only go over this super briefly because I think we're getting kind of long. In fact, actually, while you guys are waiting, tell me, on a scale of 1 to, let me stop my share for a second. On a scale of 1 to 10, scale of 1 to 10, how much, there we go, that make quantifiable. How much do you love talking about doTERRA? I ask this because last night I was with a couple of friends, and there was the definite, like, the guys were talking about their guy stuff, about sci-fi and sports and stuff like that. And I happened to have a couple of my friends who are also loving doTERRA. And so like we would start talking about kids, and we would, maybe mention something about hair or like some cleaning thing, but it would always somehow come back through the kids or for the cleaning thing or whatever to doTERRA, because it's so much of a lifestyle for me. And I love having a community where I don't have to feel like a weirdo because I love it that much. So I'm curious, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love talking about doTERRA? So maybe I just made you feel weird if you're like, no, I don't really tell anybody about doTERRA. It's my conflict. But go ahead and be honest, and I won't call you out, I promise. Okay, so type in the chat. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love talking about doTERRA? And I'm going to keep going to keep sharing, and I'll come back to you guys in just in a minute. Okay, so if they had an awesome experience, meaning they are now telling like everyone they know about this headache remedy or whatever that you shared. So that's when you say, if you think past tense is awesome, that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's incredible how many things you can solve with essential oils. And then whatever it was that you guys just told me about, that deep blue rub, you share your experience about like, oh yeah, even my husband likes deep blue rub, blah, 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 blah. And we've been doing this and now we can do that. And okay, so share an experience or two that was powerful for you. And then say, here's what we're going to do. There's an amazing intro to oils class on, and then here's what actually is legitimately true. If you guys are popping over here to our Enamored with Nature Oil Education page in your group here, this is where you can always connect with us and be able to find out what's coming up, right? So like which Zoom thing is coming or whatever. And here's the thing, every Thursday, I'm sorry, just kidding, every Wednesday at 8:15 at night, we do that for a lot of the mamas, and every Wednesday, no, I got that wrong again. Every Thursday at 1 p.m., we have a basic intro class, and we keep it very small on purpose, but this is our virtual way of being able to connect with whoever it is in whatever part of the country. Now, if you're particular, if you live in Oregon, I don't know if I have my my other sweet buddies on here, but if you live way across the country and those times don't work for you, we'll totally set up a different class for you, no problem. But just as a standing thing, we always have this going on. You'll just need to reach out to us for the link, because we do keep it very exclusive. We don't want everybody popping on. We want to keep them small, because it ends up being much more individualized. So if someone says, I'm having some issues with this kind of stuff for my kids and this kind of stuff for my husband and this for me, we're able to kind of work through some of those things. So we like to keep it small. But Wednesdays at 8:15 p.m. and Thursdays at 1 p.m. around lunchtime-ish for people who work. That's where you're going to find an invite to a class. If you're not sure like how to get somebody plugged into some of that kind of stuff, that's where you're going to focus and offer. Those are always going on. Okay, so then you say, like, these are the 2 times I think what you learn could change your life. I'd love for you to come. Which of those 2 times would work better for you? Then you set the date and time. Okay, then you give them 2 days before that happens. You're gonna give them a call and be like, hey, I'm excited about seeing you, like on Zoom on Wednesday night or Thursday or whatever. And I think what we talk about is really gonna help, you know, your daughter's anxiety or whatever. And then, you know, give them a little bit of info about how to do that. And then you'll also do a 2-hour reminder text for, like, to make sure they actually do pop on. Okay, so that's about it, guys. That's all that there is to sharing effectively. Is those key pieces of not giving them an overwhelming amount of oils, only doing like one issue at a time and just a little bit at a time. Coach them through that little bit, because many people have never had any kind of interaction with essential oils before. So it's gonna be yeah, they're gonna want it step by step, and they're gonna want to know that you are the kind of like awesome friend who's gonna follow up with them. And if you say you're gonna call them in 2 days, like, call them and make that something that you say like ahead of time, so that you can you know, like, everybody kind of knows what's going on and nobody feels like they're bothering somebody. All right, so I'm going to go back and read how much you guys like talking about doTERRA. So I'm seeing a 6 from Judy. Melissa says 10. There's a 5, a 4, 5, 5, 6, 8, 3. I need to work on it. That's okay. No, I find I'm saying the people who have the lower scores are probably not able to, like, get into community like what I have here, right? So I've built up where a lot of my buddies are also focused on natural things and about, like, healing in their home, and so it just becomes something that we like talk about and care about. So keep typing in the comments if you haven't yet about on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love talking about doTERRA? All right, let's see. Sampling. So, oh, thank you for putting that in the chat. Okay, Tanisha says 5. Yeah. All right. So yeah, if you missed some of the sampling steps, there is a flow chart that kind of can show you. I'll actually click into that super fast. Was it this one? It was not that one. Was it this one? It was not that one. Sorry. Is it? No, 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 no. That one. Here it is. Okay, yeah. So if you got confused about what to do when and stuff like that, this page is a really easy one to print out about inviting them to try it, deliver it, the 2-day check-in. If they had a great time, okay, great. Let's go ahead and invite them to a class. If they didn't, okay, well, tell me about it and let's get you a new one, right? So then we go, if they didn't have it, you'll tell them, it's okay, we're gonna try it again. So after they try it, you'll invite to a class. Or if they didn't try it, then okay, well, let's do some right now. Okay, so like make them try it right there on the phone or whatever. And yeah, so it all kind of leads, like sometimes a little bit roundabout, but the basic idea is that we get them to be able to have that awesome experience before they're asked to do anything. Okay, I think, am I? Okay, digital screen. Okay, so, am I back? Oh, I must have skipped. Sorry about that. Okay, if you guys have any other questions, I hope you'll put them in the chat real quick, but I think we're about finished. I think I've kept you guys long enough, right? This actually was a pretty good time, and this wasn't crazy, right? If you have questions, you can put them in now. Otherwise, I'm going to say goodbye. I'm trying to, is there something else I'm supposed to tell you guys? I'm sharing. I don't see anything on my list. I think I'm good. Okay, I don't see anything in the chat. That means you guys are ready to go and have a fantastic Saturday. And of course, I will see you back here next Saturday, if not before. And I really enjoy spending time with you guys. So thank you for joining. Many hugs. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.